Hello indie game fans, it's an interesting week of new releases since developers are scrambling to get their games out before the Steam summer sale, which does mean a smaller selection, but as always, interesting games abound, beginning with GUNCHO, a roguelite tactics title on a hexagonal grid in which you play as a gunslinger blasting his way through shootouts. The twist to this game is that moving, shooting and unloading your revolver will affect the rotation of the cylinder and hence whether or not there's a bullet in the chamber, which thus leads to interesting tactical considerations. Furthermore, enemy attacks are telegraphed in that into the breach kind of way, so you can make them attack each other, and there are environmental hazards like cacti to consider as well, making for quite the interesting strategic game. Here's a gorgeous looking title in Nekokami, the human restoration project, which we have definitely seen before since the developers themselves cite Dorfromantic and Townscaper as inspirations. This takes place in the far future in a universe ruled by cats, in which you're attempting to bring back extinct humans, but why you're doing so is the bigger question. The core gameplay involves drawing and placing down hexagonal tiles, placing complementary objects near each other for greater bonuses, with the twist of cat icons on the world map itself being something different and does look very pleasant. Love indie games? Sign up to my newsletter to get a weekly dose of what's hot, along with some news and of course, weekly game giveaways, so if interested, link is in the description below. Here's an interesting release since Frogun released in 2022 and was a neat little PS1/N64 inspired title, and they are back with Frogun Encore, which is an expansion/sequel and adds neat options like a co-op mode. I'm not sure if this will be a Wii to Wii U kind of confusion, since it sounded like a remake to me when I first heard of this game, so to clarify, it is not, having whole new levels and challenges, although I do expect to see a couple of returning mechanics and enemies, so I wonder why it isn't called Frogun 2, which might have to do with the amount of content, but if you love the original, this will be of interest.
Why don't you start a new story?
A new story?
Just a quick one here in Stray Gods Orpheus, the paid DLC expansion to a musical adventure game which was released in 2023, telling the tale of the bard Orpheus in the mortal world and looks like it's for fans of the genre. A quirky little release this week is Ghostboy, which has a cute art style but with a darker theme, in which you are attempting to help your loved ones through dealing with grief, presumably due to your own death. In addition to the narrative elements like making decisions and micromanaging the relationships between your family members, there's also, strangely, an action element to the game, in which you're helping to defeat negative thoughts through tower defense combat. Yes, it is as weird a mishmash of ideas as it sounds, which is why I love indie games, since developers are willing to try new ideas. It might be a little heavy though, since it deals with mental disorders and trauma, but they have consulted with a clinical psychologist as well as a child psychologist, so hopefully that translates into the game and they handle the subject matter with care. Other games begin with NeoSprint, a remake of the Atari classic Sprint, which, to be honest, I'm not familiar with, but modern Atari have been engaging developers to remake their classics to a rather mild reception, but they are continuing to do so maybe this will be good.
Whichever planet you select, paradise won't come easy. You'll have to face some extreme conditions, treacherous landscapes, or radioactive areas.
We also have Ocean World Eden Crafters, the free demo to Eden Crafters, which is releasing later in 2024, being a survival crafting title set in space with automation elements, in which you are attempting to terraform the planet, with this release being set on a location with gigantic waves and looks like it's worth a try.
With determination, you'll turn deserts into forests, toxic lakes into clear waters. And behold, the once hostile world will be a new Eden. Not just for you, but for all of humanity.
This one's for indie game developers. The free indie game marketing resources are ready, so sign up via the link in the description below to get it in your mailbox. Tech Builder fans, this one might be of interest since Dragon Eclipse looks like Slay the Spire meets Pokemon, in which you can choose from various tamer characters and lead a party of companion monsters named Mistlings to fight dangerous creatures. The creature can evolve on top of the expected upgrading of cards and meta progression elements, looking to be an interesting spin on things, although, do help me out here, I'm pretty sure that some of the artwork here is AI generated, so have a look at the Steam page and let me know in the comments below.
Thank God you've returned. I need your help.
Alright, one of the most played demos of the most recent Steam Next Festival is Riven, a remake of a game from 1997, which, at the time, won many awards, and comes to us from the developers of Myst, and in a similar way, are first-person puzzle-adventure games. I have not played the original, so I have no point of reference, although side note, it is available on Steam for $6, but this looks to be in line with the releases of developer Cyan Worlds and should be a good time.
He's watching you. He's waiting for you to make a mistake.
The island has been steadily decaying for years. According to my most recent measurements, it appears that the Fifth Age has entered its final days.
There's a very good chance, if all this goes well, that you'll be returned to the place that you came from.
Another DLC release of interest is A Little to the Left Seeing Stars, which includes 33 new levels for this organizing puzzle game. The gimmick here is that there are multiple ways to quote-unquote solve a level, since you could be arranging cacti by height, size, or shades of green, so it is pretty freeform and interesting as a result, with the base game and subsequent DLCs like this allowing you to scratch that part of your brain that just wants to tidy and organize things, even if there is no real need to, and looks equally as cozy. Here's an interesting card-based dungeon crawler named Dice and Fold, last seen in my summer showcase, in which you are leading a party of characters to battle monsters, rolling dice and slotting them into cards to deal damage, use abilities and more. I do like the art style of this game, which is very pleasant and cleanly done, with the dice rolling mechanic looking simple but will get more complex over time. There's also an element of solitaire in this, such as drawing enemy cards from the deck and then causing them to fold once you deal enough damage, looking to be the next roguelite hit. I'm so excited to share this game since it just looks so well made, which you can tell from the animations when placing down blocks, since Emberword is a roguelite tower defense title that looks absolutely fantastic and is my kind of game. Watch my summer showcase to find out about 166 upcoming indie games.